Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we take to the streets of Grimsby to find out people's opinions on Sacha Baron Cohen's thoughts on the town. There's hope for the long-term unemployed thanks to the booming wind industry. And my guests tonight are Kate Dalton and Ashley Ayenko, who talk about stripping for Christmas, all in aid of charity. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Richards. Time now for the news headlines.
A woman was hit by a train at the Hawthorne Avenue level crossing in Hull on Monday. The woman, who has not been identified, was hit by the Doncaster to Beverley train at 6 p.m. Police say she was taken to hospital with minor injuries and the incident is not being treated as suspicious. Officers from Humberside Police have seized a large quantity of psychotropic substances, often referred to as legal highs, in Scunthorpe in a joint operation with North Lincolnshire Council, Trading Standards and North Lincolnshire Substance Misuse Team. They recovered over 4,000 doses of MPS. Well, a 35-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of possession with intent to supply a controlled substance before being bailed pending further inquiries. The products were all seized under new legislation. Elsewhere, be cautious of any deliveries that you have not ordered or which are for residents or addresses of people you do not know. That's the warning from the Safer Neighbourhoods group in northern Lincolnshire. It comes after an apparently innocent delivery of wine and flowers. The delivery driver said he didn't know who they were from, but a small charge was required. Bank details were given and then a considerable amount of money was then taken from the account. And with Christmas Day quickly approaching, a number of celebratory and religious events are being held across the region, including carols by candlelight, a celebration of Advent at St Mary's Church in Grimsby. It gets underway on Wednesday at 7 p.m.
This is a celebration that we've had for a number of years now, bringing in all faiths and all the community of the East Marsh in particular into the St Mary's Church to sing and gather together in harmony and in joyous celebration. Faith is built on the birth of Christ and the life of Christ and the death of Christ, which comes in Easter. But it's about the life and opportunities that Christmas brings and the celebrations that everybody is aware of, and bringing Christ back.
And North East Lincolnshire Council, working in partnership with Coffley, will be crowning their 2015 School Crossing Patrol Person of the Year, voted for by the children they help on their way to and from school. Well, that's the latest from the news. If you do have any stories, you can give us a ring on 01472 315561. Until next time.
People with hopes to work in the Humber's booming wind industry will now have the opportunity to carry out training in a Hull library. The Hub has opened in Central Library as part of Greenport Hull in the city to give the long-term unemployed the opportunity to get to jobs in the manufacturing and renewables sector. Dan Kemp has been along to find out more.
Renewable energy is fast becoming the heartbeat of Hull and the Humber as a whole. Soon, Siemens will be producing wind turbines for the North Sea wind farms and beyond. But for this to happen, you need workers. Just a few weeks ago, the largest quantity of jobs so far for the plant were put online, and now the long-term unemployed will get their chance to try and be part of it.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing setup. It really proves, our testament and the testament of the wider Greenport Hull development on our commitment to offering people positions locally. It gives everybody the opportunity to come and see exactly what it is that we're doing, exactly all of the positions that we're advertising. It gives people the chance to come and drop in and actually sit and go through their application, and it gives them all of the tools and the training that they need to be able to get their application into the system and hopefully then progress on to an assessment.
The training will be delivered by Unity Training, who are aiming to get people back into work. It includes English and maths tests, practicing interview technique and other manual challenges.
Here for the assessments for Siemens, which is basically basic English and basic maths. And hopefully most of us who are here today will be doing their very best, even though it's an assessment.
These people have come in from the job centre to complete an assessment on their ability with regards to maths and English. They're also completing a technical drawing assessment and also following an electrical diagram. The form of that is so we can see their understanding of what their technical ability is. So then if they're suitable for the training programme, we can then look at them developing their skills further to gaining qualifications within the manufacturing and renewables industry that's being generated within the area.
All this to ensure the Humber truly becomes the energy estuary.
I think it's going to get far busier with more employers involved, and I just think that it's a nicer atmosphere as well around here, as it would say down your local job centre. So, you know, there's people here that can inspire them and show that they are good enough for employment in the wind energy sector, and I'm sure many of them will come in here over the future months. I'll end up being employed by Siemens.
You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we find out people's views on the forthcoming movie of Grimsby. Erica Barker joins me on the sofa to have a look at what's happening in the news across our region, and we'll have a roundup of all the latest local sports news and results. A group of willing rugby players from the Beverley Rugby Union Football Club have decided to bear all and strip off. They're hoping that their calendar will earn some cash for the Beaver Park Club in Beverley. Masterminds behind the project, Kate Dalton and Ashley Ienko, join me now. Welcome both. Thank you very much for wearing clothes. First of all, can I just show off the calendar? I won't flip open all the pages because there's quite a lot of rugby player in it.
Yeah.
Unadorned. Whose idea was this?
It was Ashley's.
And what gave you this brilliant idea, Ashley?
So I've got the blame for that one. It was something the club had done a few years ago. I've had a bit of time out since playing rugby, and we were looking at creating some funds for the rugby club for various different things around the club equipment mainly. And I just sort of put forward, shall we do it again? It's been a few years, and everyone was sort of willing to take part, and sponsors were happy to get involved.
Well, first of all, let's talk about what we're going to spend the money on. Where does this money go to keep the club running?
It's probably going more towards pitch maintenance, equipment for training, stuff that just needs replacing annually. It takes a lot of wear and tear, so it's very expensive. So. And
also, you've got all these youth teams that you're bringing on.
Yeah, they use the equipment, and it'll help them. You know, no end really.
Just to keep encouraging people to be sporty and fit.
Get involved.
Ashley, who volunteered to be in this calendar, and how did you persuade them to do it?
It didn't take too much persuading. I think a lot.
Oh, really? A bunch of exhibitionists, are they?
Yes, pretty much. I think a lot of the guys were happy to take part. Like I said, it all benefits the club, and like Kate said, bringing the youth through from bin minis up to the Colts, which is at like under 19s, and then bringing them on into senior rugby. It just helps all the way through. It's just a good community spirit throughout the club.
All these fine figures of a man, they're all in the senior teams, are they? They're the first team? And
yes, we're all in the senior teams, yeah.
It's been unfair because there were only 12 months and there are 15 people in a rugby team. Who got left out?
We included everyone who wanted to be included in the calendar. No one was excluded. And we just the photographer, Andy Horton, did a fantastic job of making everything fit and making it look a bit classier.
What, classier than they usually look, you mean?
Classier than they can look.
Okay.
They can be a bit cliche, a calendar, but this one's sort of done in black and white and got a bit more class to it.
Who are those sponsors, Kate?
We tried to source them locally. We have the Bread Shed, which is a local bakery in Beverley, the Royal Standard, which we have it's a pub. We have a drinking partnership with them.
What, rugby players drink?
Yes, very strangely they do.
Good Lord.
But they do a lot of fundraising for us. They have quiz nights and stuff for the rugby club, which is great. And Alan at the Standard was, our sponsor of the calendar. And then we've had quite big sponsors as well, like Peter Ward Homes and Grand Tech, Minster, Plant Hire, lots and lots of local businesses.
So these are all, and it's very much a point that they're local businesses. This is Beverley supporting a Beverley institution here.
Absolutely.
And that's terribly important because it does have that local character. Talking of which, Ashley, where can people get their hands on the calendar?
They can now get it directly off the website. There's a PayPal set up on there. It's a couple of clicks of a mouse, and that's probably the easiest way to get them. Alternatively, they can ring the club or email Kate directly.
Okay. There's various pick-up points in Beverley, but I probably think the website's the easiest way to do it.
We'll talk about the club a little bit more in a moment. We must stop there. Please join me after the break when I'll be talking a little more to Kate and Ashley, and we find out your thoughts on the movie Grimsby, and we'll have all the latest local sports news and results.
I want to see Grimsby put on the map.
Extraordinary qualities, unmatched in anywhere else in Britain.
We need to act with one voice.
I was absolutely shocked, I'll tell you the truth.
More police officer hours spent on patrol preventing crimes from happening.
Welcome back, you're watching Estuary News. Still to come, Erica Barker brings us the roundup of what's happening in our region, and we'll bring you the latest local sports news and results. I'm still with Kate Dalton and Ashley Ienko from the Beaver Park Club and Beverley Rugby Union Football Club, talking about their naked calendar. I hope it's a great success. How many do you hope to sell?
We've had 500 printed. We've had got lots of good advertising throughout local newspapers and yourselves. So hopefully we will get it out there.
How much money will that raise?
Well, the printing and photography is paid for via the sponsorship. So if we sell all 500 copies, I think there's that £4,000.
Well, that's a useful amount, isn't it? There's a few rugby balls in that.
Yeah.
How's the club doing, Ashley?
The club's doing always has been and always will be a strong community as a club. Sports wise, there's been changes over the last few years, but it's a pretty new club. There's a lot of old players coming back to play, and we're making steps forward. And you play in you play an awfully large part of Northern England. You cover. Yes.
There's a Northern League, isn't there?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I think the furthest south we go is Dinnington, which is just sort of Sheffield area, right up to Alnwick, which is well past Newcastle.
Pretty much the Scottish borders up there.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
So whereabouts are you in the league?
We're second from the bottom as it stands now, but there's still a lot of season left to go.
Everything to play for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a community club. How can people be members of the club? How can they take part?
Well, we have a lot of volunteers, and the whole club is run by volunteers that are on the committee, from finance down to pitch maintenance. It's all done by in people's spare time. Anyone locally can become a member. There's a tiered scheme, so you can pay £50 at the lowest for your year, or up to £250, which includes sit-down lunches, free entry to the grounds for matches. So there's 4 or 5 different ways you can become a member.
Anybody is welcome to come along and join the club. Tell us a little bit about this new shirt that you've got here. This is rather splendid. Rather striking colours.
Yes, it matches your suite. This is we've been doing this for 4 years now. It's towards the end of the season we have a ladies' day where all the wives and girlfriends come to the club and have lunch, and then the lads play in pink and the money goes to breast cancer. We use a local charity called Hair Breast Friend. This year I think we raised £1,300 for their charity. So we will be doing the same again next year. That's
sponsored by Light Source, yes, which is a company involved in communications
technology. Yeah, they do a lot of
the
cabling for, I think they do all of the cabling for Kingston Communications. So they're great sponsors. They've helped the club a lot.
Okay, very quickly then, let's just remind ourselves. Beverley Rugby Club calendar 2016, full of, well, naked blokes, as you'd expect, and people can get it through your website.
Yeah, they can.
And how much is it?
£8.
£8. £8 very well spent if you like naked rugby players. Thank you both so much for coming in, and good luck with raising all that money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last week, a new trailer for Sacha Baron Cohen's film Grimsby was released. It depicted Grimsby as a run-down town twinned with Chernobyl, with drunks on every corner. We took to the streets of the real Grimsby to see what people think of this representation of their town.
Well, they released a new trailer last week, and it shows a sign. So there's a sign that says Grimsby, twinned with Chernobyl, Ukraine, and there's a small kid pushing around a drunken man in a pram. Do you think it's a good image of Grimsby?
It's not a very good image, no. No.
Do you think Grimsby gets too much bad press?
It gets quite a lot of bad press, but then sometimes it deserves it, doesn't it?
I really don't know. I've seen the previous coverage, and people say, well, we should laugh at it. He's a comedian. Why are we so sensitive? We should be proud of Grimsby.
Don't like it. No, it's the way he's done it as Grimsby. It's square. I mean, we've got a reputation already. We don't need more reputation put on top of it. But I won't be going to see it.
Have you seen the latest trailer that was released just a couple of days ago?
Yeah. Within 2 minutes to turn it off. No, not my cup of tea.
My overall, I'm Scottish by the way, come to help you out. Grimsby is okay, and it should go with that statement actually.
I've not seen the film, to be honest with you, so I can't really comment.
The latest trailer had a sign which said Grimsby, twinned with Chernobyl, Ukraine.
Oh well, you take it with a pinch of salt, don't you? If you want to take it personally, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it? I'm sure everybody watches other things, what's derogatory to other places, and they don't moan about that, so it's just one of them things, isn't it?
Joining me on the sofa, Erica Barker, to look through some of the latest news stories. Erica, what have you got?
Hello, you. Well, consumer health giant Reckitt Benckiser is being investigated by Watchdog over claims it misled consumers with an advertising campaign for a Nurofen painkiller product. This is in Australia. It's been ordered by the Australian Federal Court. Now, the company, also known as RB, was founded in Hull. That's why it's in the Hull Daily Mail today. I can't get my words out today. It's in the Hull Daily Mail today. And basically the product was, it advertised that it could tackle back pain, period pain, migraine pain, basically all different pains. But basically the painkiller would only do what it could do. It couldn't actually target pain.
It's all the same
misleading.
stuff.
It's all the same stuff.
Whatever it says on the box,
so that was misleading.
This is for headaches, this is for backaches.
Yep.
You get the same medicine.
Yep, they say that it's exactly the same. You can't actually target pain in that way. Now, the Britain's Advertising Standards Authority, they are now investigating 12 complaints about the television advert for Nurofen Express.
I'm told by my medical friends that a great deal of, we spend too much money on painkillers because you can pay the ones that cost pounds and pounds, and you can pay for a box that costs 16 pence.
Yeah, the same, don't
you
they?
get exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is that one might be a little bit easier to swallow, or might work a few minutes faster than another. But the fact is that you're getting the same drug, and you can be sometimes paying 100 times more for it than you need to.
Yeah, possibly. So we'll see what happens with that one. Next one then, Hull City Council. I think you discussed this earlier in the week. Last week, Hull City Council has agreed to review its rules for people who want to become taxi drivers. 11 of the biggest private hire taxi firms in Hull, this is in the Hull Daily Mail, say that they're struggling to recruit new taxi drivers, and they say it's because the council's rules are too stringent. To actually be a taxi driver, you have to sit tests in literacy and numeracy and have local knowledge tests. You also have to do a BTEC qualification, which taxi drivers say is expensive, time-consuming, and acts as a deterrent for drivers.
So, well, numeracy I can understand. Literacy, I suppose you've got to be able to read the road signs, and you have to have been able to read the newspapers in order to have a conversation with your passengers.
You see, all qualifications are good qualifications, isn't it? So it's always better to have that knowledge. But I suppose I didn't know that. I didn't know when I got a taxi that they might have to have these qualifications, or they might have to have done this. So you're not aware of that, are you? No, but the council are saying that they're going to look at it to hopefully encourage more people to enter that profession.
As long as it doesn't keep people out of the industry when there's a place for them there.
Yes, exactly. So massive news about the the railway industry and about investments that are going to be made in the north. Fantastic news earlier last week. But now pressure is being piled upon the government because they want to have a train service between Grimsby, Cleethorpes and London, so you could get a direct train from Grimsby to London.
And
which
who's
is
pressuring the government to give
well,
us this line?
it's our local MPs that are doing this. So Martin Vickers has questioned Parliament about this, but they are still in the dark. They still don't have no definite answer on that, if that's going to be the case.
Questions in the House about a Grimsby-London line. Erica, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time now for the sport.
Grimsby Town and Shrewsbury will go again in an Emirates FA Cup second round replay on Tuesday as both sides look to book their place in round 3. Despite the Mariners dominating much of the original game last Monday, the game finished goalless, which means both sides will meet at the new Meadow, with the winner facing a trip to Russell's Slade's Cardiff City. The Tigers will be looking to make it back-to-back home victories when they host Reading at the Casey Stadium on Wednesday night. Steve Bruce's side returned to winning ways with a 1-0 success against Bolton Wanderers at the weekend to move up to third place in the table, and will be looking to make up further ground on the top 2 when they face the Royals. LFC returning forward, Danny Washbrook told LFC.com he is excited for the new season and hopes his experience can help the club to success. The 30-year-old rejoins the club from Wakefield, having made over 100 appearances during his first spell with the Black and Whites. And the entire Scunthorpe United squad visited the Disney ward of Scunthorpe General Hospital on Monday afternoon, where 20 youngsters were waiting to see the players. The team, after training, were accompanied with a wealth of gifts for the visit, funded by the players themselves and also the Irons Community Trust. Well, if you do have a story, you can also contact us on social media at estuary.com. But that's all from the sport.
That's all for tonight. If you have a news story for us, then do please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 31553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Wednesday we'll see some rain, soon clearing away from the northeast, but brightening up during the morning with some sunny intervals developing and just the odd shower across the hills. Much milder than yesterday, with a maximum temperature of 13 degrees. Outlook for Thursday will be very mild again, but windy with some rain spreading east.
Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.